Hello, all you beautiful humans. Welcome back to another episode of Pole Obsession with me, Felix Kane, and the wonderful Elizabeth Domazet. Before we start, here's a quick notice from our sponsors. Pole Expo. We have got an incredibly special deal for all of our Pole Obsession listeners. If you book in now using our special code PO 2025 Expo, you will get an additional $50 off any Pole Expo package on top of the flash sale that's currently going on. So that's not just your $50 off, but there's also an additional huge sale going on right now. So you'll get that as well. So use that code now before it expires. And thank you to Pole Expo for sponsoring.
Yay, our first sponsor, Pole Expo. The best. All right, so today's episode, we're going to talk about heels versus bare feet in pole dancing. So I think with both of us, like I'm very much a barefoot dancer and I have been my whole life. You're known as a heels dancer, but that is not how you started dancing.
No. In fact, like I think when I first started pole, I would have spent the majority of my life dancing not in heels, but like barefoot, flat foot, or on point because I'm classically trained. So yeah, it's definitely not what I trained in for sure. But now I think it's definitely what I prefer.
You prefer heels or barefoot?
Oh, I prefer heels. For me,
Yeah,
not watching.
yeah.
Definitely performing, I prefer heels. I think a lot of it has got to do with the character that I created, who is Felix Kane. And that character, I think, that part of their costume, part of the way that she moves, is really enmeshed, is that a word? But like connected with heels.
Yeah, definitely. But that comes from the studio that you first trained at. They were all heels dancers, weren't they? So,
Yeah, for sure,
yeah,
for sure. And I think, yeah, because when I started, like we started in beginners, we were in heels and we did the warm up in heels, like everything was in heels. I didn't mind. I thought the heels were amazing. I wanted to be in heels. So yeah, I don't know why it's like it didn't even occur to me to ever do pole dancing without shoes on. Like it didn't just even though all of my training and formal training was obviously not in heels, it never even crossed my mind to do it without shoes on.
yeah. See, for me, there was only two studios in Canberra when I started, and neither wore heels. No one wore heels. And it was back in the days where studios had carpet. Like one didn't, but one did, and it had carpet. And I think it was the more gymnastics and trick-based studios had carpet for a softer landing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the very first studio I opened and had carpet. I'm like, oh no, we need carpet, we need extra underlay, and we need all the things. And it was nice and soft, but it was always barefoot. I didn't even put a pair of heels on until 7 years into pole dancing.
Really?
7 years.
That's many. How
That's
did you
many,
feel?
it's many
Many.
years.
How did you feel though when you first put them on? Were you like, oh, this is so much better?
Oh no, I think because I was a trickster, I've always loved doing tricks, right? So I'm
Mm.
not like, I was never, the sexy dance style. I just felt awkward doing it. So the very first thing I did was not try to be sexy in my heels and do some flow or anything. I tried to do a shoulder mount and I nearly died. I thought, this is so heavy. How does anyone do this? It was so heavy. And then I think I tried to do a handspring and I was like, come on, people.
I find sometimes, oh no, with deadlift, it's easier with heels on because the weight just takes you back. No?
No, well, I haven't got that far yet.
Isn't your deadlift easier in heels though, Elle? Don't you find?
Yeah. Elle doesn't deadlift.
It's
Elle
really
had a hard time doing a shoulder mount in heel. I was like, this is really hard, like, because they're heavy.
they're heavy. Yeah.
They're
But that's,
heavy.
I guess, why it's easier to go if you've been training with like basically ankle weights. It's
Yeah,
easier for sure to go from heels to no heels. You're like, whoa, I'm so fast.
yeah, yeah. We did used to train with ankle weights to get stronger, like when barefoot, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Heels was just different. And you've got this big thing on the end of your foot as well. Ankle weights, it's kind of more central to your leg. Yeah. Whereas heels, it's on the end of your leg. So it was like,
I think that having the heel as a little bit of weight resistance, but also a little bit of reach, it can really help with like flexibility, because if you're in like whatever leg hang, and you can't quite reach your leg, if you have a little like handle,
yeah.
your heel to like guide you into the right position, then I feel like it can like speed up the process of gaining flexibility in that shape, because you can reach and pull and use the resistance. So I think that as a tool, I think they're quite helpful, and I think they look good.
They do look good, and that's what I love about them. So as
Yeah.
soon as you put them on, I feel taller, obviously a lot taller,
Yeah.
skinnier, all
Yeah.
of the
And
things.
you're not short. I'm short. So like I feel normal.
How tall are you?
I'm I'm 161 centimeters. So I'm 5'4", 5'3",
Yeah,
3. Yeah.
not super short. I'm 5'7". I think people just think I'm a lot taller than what I am.
I
But
mean, that's taller than me.
well, sure, but it's not huge. I'm not like my daughter's 5'10" and a half, so I'm
It's
not
tall. Yeah.
that tall.
That's
Yeah,
tall.
I'm
That's
not
only
too
6 foot.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
it.
yeah.
But what about your classes now? Do you teach with heels when they first come in, or do you do barefoot until they get to a certain level?
I do barefoot for level classes. So level classes, we don't do any dancing. We just do the syllabus, and we do like a long dancey combo that we work on. But there's no like choreography. And then with the flow classes, then it's optional. But majority of people will use heels, like versus not using heels for flow class. So the flow classes are definitely geared more towards the like sexy style of dancing. And then we have a lyrical class that like is for like a graceful flow that's barefoot. So it's like teaching definitely not in heels. I don't think I can spot as safely
Yeah.
keep my clients, my students safe if I'm in heels. And
Mm-hmm.
I keep myself safe. Like if I catch someone in heels, I'm definitely going to roll my ankle. Whereas if
Yeah.
I have my feet flat on the ground, I can put myself in the safest position to for my body and also for theirs. I also find like when we're teaching moves for the first time, people do have a tendency to flail a little bit, if they're doing something that's not familiar. Like for example, handspring. If you're not hitting that point, balance point very cleanly, if you've got heels on, it's much more dangerous for anybody else in the studio, because you're kind of flinging, flopping, falling, you're learning, so you're not in maybe the right place all the time. And I think that for other students in the studio, it could be a bit more hazardous if we were all learning in heels, because they're big, they're heavy, and they're sharp.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of people come real close to people's eyes with heels.
Yeah, well, I've been hit multiple times on the head with heels. That's probably why I am the way I am today. But yeah, it's a lot more pleasant to be tapped on the head with a foot than it is to be tapped on the head or smashed on the head with a heel.
Yeah.
Especially if they're coming down at speed, because accidents
Yeah.
happen. You're walking around, somebody can just like clonk you quite easily. So usually when we're learning new moves, I teach barefoot. But I used to teach in heels, and I used to have all of my students in heels as well. But I think back then we didn't used to spot each other. Like we weren't anywhere close to each other. We were just like isolated to our own poles. You don't touch me, and I don't touch you.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's too dangerous otherwise.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. But I think now we're just a lot more smarter about, we have harder moves to learn, and so being able to like help put a body in a place versus like just you figure it out by yourself. I'll be over here shouting compliments at you. You have to be able to do that. You have to like be able to like manipulate them and help them and lift them,
Yeah.
and you can't do that if you're wearing, well, I can't do that if I'm wearing heels and feel safe.
No, exactly right. There's the other thing too now with heels coming into the country because it's really expensive with the Trump tariff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Fun.
so I wonder how much that's going to change things, because I know there has been stores closed down because of it, like that
Yeah.
sell freezers. Yeah. That
Yeah.
have completely closed down because they can't afford to bring them in with all the taxes now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And Yeah, so I wonder if because they're made in China, so can we not just buy them direct from China? I'm sure
Well, I think we can. I'm sure we could.
sure
I'm
that
not maybe not from Pleaser, but we could
yeah.
definitely. There's other brands that we can definitely get shoes from. But a lot of them, yeah, you've got to. I don't know about the taxes, but we're soon going to see them. I did see a brand pop up the other day of pole shoes. They were selling pole shoes, pole boots for $900.
900 US dollars.
They're pole shoes.
But
$900.
the majority of my pole shoes get trashed. Am I doing something wrong?
Well,
Like
listen,
$900 for something that's going to end up in the bin?
yeah, $900.
So that's
That's
like
US. So what would it be in Australian? It'd be way more.
I trash my. That's like what 900 US. Let's
It's
convert
like
that.
more than a pair of
What
Lucas ones.
brand was this? Let's look it up immediately, please. I want to know. Oh
I think it was CHE or something like that.
my gosh.
Yeah, let's tell you all what it is. Unless some of you have got endless amounts of money.
We're just our free sponsor today.
A lot of money for shoes that we trash. That's the thing. Like even the best quality ones, we're rolling around the ground, and
Well, I trash mine. Yeah, I would. I would invest that much money because I destroy them. But I guess if you're not going to destroy them or like, and you want to keep them as works of art, then by all means, I'm not going to tell anyone how to spend their money. I'm not gonna. What's the saying? I'm not gonna poo-poo someone's happy thing.
poo-poo someone's $900 shoes.
I'm not gonna poo-poo them. Go for it. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the night.
Absolutely. And if you have a pair, we'd love to see them and see
I
what you
would.
think.
Yeah, I
I
would. I
actually
would.
want to know, yeah, how good are they?
I'd
Now,
really laugh if we'd done our maths wrong and they weren't actually $900.
no, that was 900 US, so it would have been over 1,000 Australian.
It'd be way more than 1,000 Australian.
Yeah, yeah, way more. So that's one. Now, other poll, let's have a look at other shoe
Okay, so
brands.
we haven't saved any money there.
No. There's a brand called, I think you say it last CB or something, and they're supposed to be really, really good. People are buying those off Amazon.
La CB,
Yeah, I think it's LACBEE or something like that.
La CB. I'm going to look it up
Yeah.
as all together as all of our listeners can do it with us. I've not found the right thing.
You didn't find the right thing. All right. Well, we'll come back to that. But I will tell you while I'm on this one, some of my students have been buying their shoes off Shein and Temu.
And
And I think they're okay.
oh, okay.
I think they're okay. I don't know how long they're going to last. These are a couple of beginners that have just bought a couple of pairs. So the jury's still out. We're not 100% sure. A lot of the girls are also buying it off Facebook Marketplace.
I mean, that's a great like place to start. I think especially with like, the turnover of shoes and even if you get like the wrong size in or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But Temu and Shein have got a lot of pole shoes.
Do they?
Yes.
I don't use Temu and Shein. I'm not a I think I'm against it. I think I don't like it.
Yeah. You like something to not be fast fashion.
I do, but I also can't use the stupid app because it's too much. Like I like a slow fashion.
For environmental reasons.
I guess it that's secondary to get up on my like moral high horse. Sure. But the primary reason is that I've like gone into it and I can't. It's too much. It makes me angry. There's too many things going on. Why is there a wheel?
Are you talking? That's Temu though.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about Temu. I think Shein's not as bad.
Honestly.
I mean, I haven't bought a lot from there, but I know that the Temu, that wheel bothers me too. I don't want the discount. I just want the
It
thing.
gives me things I don't want. I'm like, I don't want this glass pot for my plants. I was looking for pole shoes, maybe I think I'm old. I'm showing my old, aren't I? Yep, I am. Okay, I'm shutting up now. I love Temu. I love Shein. Bring it all to me.
Okay, let's talk about a couple of other brands that we like. So Sky High Heels in Australia. I think that Sky High Heels is a Gold Coast brand. And they don't have a ton of different styles, but what they've got is really nice. And I know that they sponsor our Queensland Pole Championships.
Are
And
they
they've got
made in Australia or are they imported?
um
Who knows? But it's an Australian company. Yeah.
right, it's Australian. Yeah.
We've got to support local. I mean, now with
I
these,
agree.
yeah, with the taxes that we don't want to pay, that we won't want to pay, let's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah, exactly, want to support them. And even while we're supporting them, I think we should also say something for Shumi as well. Shumi has sponsored so many pole competitions
yeah.
for so many years and has been so fantastic. So Jess at Shumi she's just a legend. So I know it's been like tough for everyone lately. So if you are, yeah, jump onto Shumi. Shumi's always got such a cool range and
Yeah. Please
they've been such a good support for us.
show some Shumi love. Show Shumi some love. Some
Yeah,
love.
so shimmy. Now another one who is Hella Heels.
Yeah,
Hella
what I was
Heels
gonna say.
got cool stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah,
she's a I think she's in Australia, but she's from the UK.
that's right, Harriet. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Harriet, but she lives in Sydney. I think she might actually even she teaches as well. She's an instructor as well.
She's at Chili's, isn't she? At pole class.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely have stalked her and seen that she's at pole class. So maybe she's doesn't teach regularly, or maybe she does. I don't know, but she's definitely there.
yeah, and
Um,
she's got real cool shoes. The things I love about Hella Heels, I think they do their marketing very smart. I think they're very, very clever with their marketing. I love the way they do different drops. I love the way they do different colors. And they just got cool different shoes. Like she's created a huge, huge brand in the pole industry. And I love that. I love seeing.
she's beautiful. We love her. She's a really like just lovely, lovely, lovely lady. And such a creative, like all of her designs she comes up with herself, like she conceptualizes everything from like beginning through to the end. And yeah, it's really cool to see somebody in that creative process and like
Yeah,
thriving. Great.
yeah, agree. Love it. Here's the Lecevi one. It's L-E-E. I think it's, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Lee Cavey, maybe that's what it is instead. L-E-E-C-A-B-E. And you get it from
L
Ally.
double E A E E.
Yeah. And I know a lot of girls buy those as well.
So like Lee Cave.
No, B. It's got a B.
Oh, Lee Bave.
Lee, C-A-B-E.
Oh.
Not a cave.
So Lee
Cave.
Abe, if we
Yeah.
were okay. All right. Well, if I get all the letters right, maybe I will get the right thing out of my phone.
Yeah. So that's another brand that I know a lot of people buy.
I've never heard of any of no, I've heard of some of I've never heard of that one.
So there is, yeah, and they've got good reviews as well. So
Let me have a look. Leecabe. Oh, okay. Oh wow. Yeah, cute.
yeah,
Wait, this is AliExpress,
yes,
right? They're
yeah,
cheap as well. Like look, this
yeah.
yeah, they look good. I mean they look good. They look like pole dancing shoes. I could never
Yeah.
walk. They look good. I've got like thigh high. Oh yeah, look. $181 for this pair of like just over the knee boots with the
They're
like
nice boots too. They look cool. I like
they look
those.
cool. I might
Yeah,
order some, see how they go.
yeah, because you probably need another pair.
I do. I do
It's like
not.
me, I have so many shoes and I don't even teach that many heel classes. I think I teach one a week, two maximum. Yeah, two maximum. And I have so many pairs of heels. I think I would probably have, yeah,
Price.
they're a lot, those ones. They're a lot. Would you buy those?
Of course I would. Have you met me?
Okay, for those of you listening, she's showing me a hot pink thigh-high pair of boots with buckles and straps all the way up them.
3 buckles and open toe. It's 8
And
inch.
oh, she loves an open toe. Tell people about your open toe that you love so much.
I just love an open toe. I don't know why. There's not much to tell except I like an open toe.
Cools your toes or something?
Is it?
Yeah, well, you told me once that because when you're wearing the boots. Do you not
You
remember
tell
telling me?
me. I don't remember. You tell
Yeah,
me.
when you're wearing boots because you love boots so much more than the sandals
Yes.
because they give you ankle like good support,
Yes.
and they're just very supportive. But they're too hot to wear in summer, so you get the ones with the little cutout toe.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I agree with myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. What I said remains the truth, even though I don't remember saying it.
yeah,
Yes, the short ankle boots with an open toe in the summer all the way.
yeah.
I
See,
even
I'm a big fan of the sandals because I think they make your legs look better. The
I agree
clear
with you.
tops.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
I'm
agree
a
with
big
you. I love
clear
a
top.
clear top sandal, even clear top, clear bottom sandal. That's the way.
Yeah,
Can I tell
yeah.
you something interesting? I think
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. Maybe nobody else will, but I think I'm going to go back down to a 7 inch from an 8 inch. So I've been in 8 inches. Yeah, I
Wow.
know.
Wow.
No, I don't like it anymore. I think I look stupid.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's too long.
I
I think
think
it's
9 inches are crazy. I think nine
fine.
looks
I
bananas.
can't walk in 9 inches, but I don't think I can walk in 8 inches either.
You can definitely walk in 8 inches.
No, I
I've
mean I
seen
can
you do.
walk, but I don't think it looks that good. I think it like compared to, for example, I was wearing 6 inches for all of the Miss Poles that I won.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, no,
But that was probably in back then.
seven, I think for the first, and then six for the next two. I think.
Wow. We might fact check this.
Yeah, I can't remember what I wore for the last one actually. Definitely, it was either 6 or 7. It wasn't an 8 inch. Um, I think I just moved better in them.
Really? In what way? Because they're not as heavy?
No, because when I'm in an 8, and I think off the pole is what I'm talking about, not on the pole. On the pole, I don't really notice a difference, but off the pole, I think my center of gravity is too high in an 8 inch shoe, so I'm not able to dance as grounded as if I am lower to the ground. So I don't know this yet. I'm going to test the theory, but I think I can. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm fairly sure I'm going to be able to dance a lot better in a 6 or 7 inch heel. Like move off the pole, I mean, not on the pole, because on the pole, I'm holding onto the pole, so it doesn't really matter.
See, I think a 6 inch heel looks a little bit like the bodybuilders' heels. That's what it reminds me of. You know how the girls that do the
Yeah,
fitness shows, they're all in 6 inch heels. But
yeah,
then there's the new, like the dancers that are doing like the sexy style dance that are wearing a heel, but they've got no height on them. Do you know what I'm talking about? They've got
yeah,
no
like a heel,
platform on them.
yeah, like a heels dance,
Yeah.
like a urban dance class, but in heels, like a
All right. For those of you who don't know what we're laughing at, Felix has got something along the lines of urban dance. No one knows what she's ever talking about. But she likes to throw in urban dance every couple of podcasts. Oh, we need her to show us this urban dance she's talking about all the time.
I know what it's called.
I don't know that it's called urban dance, buddy, but
Why it comes out of my mouth.
I feel like it's called heels, curry, sexy dance. I don't know.
Your face, as soon as I say it every time, I'm like, oh shit, it's dropped.
All right, let's wrap up our shoe talk. What do we want to say about it?
Um, so I guess in summary, if you have the budget to try something new, like I would say, probably it would be my recommendation to just wear whatever you're wearing into the ground. I've been known to duct tape my shoes. I don't care. Like if it's not for a performance, as long as it stays on my foot, it doesn't really matter, what it looks like. So yeah, keep on using what you can for as long as you can. If you get like E6000 glue, you can glue them together over and over again as well. Um, yeah, so like I guess reuse as much as you can. And then maybe if you want to try a different brand, like there's lots out there. So just have a look. And I think the ones that we've covered, obviously we haven't had personally, but we've known people that have had them. They seem okay so far. So yeah, give it a go. Why not?
Yeah, and heels are fun to dance in. Like from somebody who was never ever going to dance in them, like I find them really fun to dance in, and I feel like it. elevates your confidence when you're dancing in heels. Like you feel confident and you feel tall and you feel pretty in them. So I think, yeah, give it a try if you've never done it.
Yeah, I think it's worth giving a try, definitely. Do we want to say anything about like heels versus barefoot dancing? Because we've talked a lot about heels and different heel
Yeah, true.
brands.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you do want to, what do you want to say?
Also, you can do it barefoot.
This is such a shit episode. It's terrible. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Okay, I will say something about barefoot dancing because obviously I danced barefoot like, my entire life. And then I came into pole. There was not heels in my studios. You did one particular studio that I went to, heels were actually banned. You couldn't wear heels in that studio. So that's interesting, isn't it? So I never thought to wear heels, and then I would see people online wearing them. That's how I knew about it. When I say online, I mean YouTube, because Instagram and Facebook
There was
didn't
no
exist.
Instagram back then.
There was no Instagram. On Facebook might have, but Instagram definitely didn't exist. So we weren't even aware that people were wearing heels when I
Do you
started.
think that was like in effort to sort of steer it away from striptease world and sort of mainstreamize it?
I think that the owner of that particular studio was very fitness focused, and she did a lot of aerobics instructing and fitness classes, and that's what her background was. And I remember saying, when it sort of started to, like, I started to know about it, and I was like, can we do, like, then Facebook was taking off and people were selling them on Facebook. And I said to her, can we try some heels? And she's like, no, we just don't do that. She said, but because I was teaching then, if you want to teach a private lesson and you want to wear heels, you girls can. So she wasn't like completely against it or wanting, I think she just didn't know how to. I don't think she felt sexy. I don't think she felt like she could look good in them. And she knew where her place was and how she felt that she could teach best. And that was the fitness side of it, because that's what she knew. And I can tell you now, she wasn't a dancer. Like, if I'm looking back on it, that she was able to teach tricks and she was very strong. She was not flexible at all, and she was not a dancer. So if she'd actually put on a pair of heels and tried to teach anything, I would have been like, oh,
Yeah, look a bit
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Right? It looks so good on you.
But I think also there's like a lot of stuff in pole now, especially that you can't do in heels, like especially the more dynamic and acrobatic side of pole, I feel like is a lot. Like you can do some dismounts from the pole in heels, but you can't do there's a lot you can't do in heels.
Well, it's risky to do a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it, but are you going to roll your ankle when you land? Like, you've got a much bigger chance of rolling your ankle. The other thing when you're wearing heels is you can't use a mat underneath you.
Yeah.
So,
You can't really run either. Like if you need speed and momentum, you can't. I mean, you can run in heels, I suppose, but it looks terrible.
yeah, it looks crazy when you're trying to do that or take off in heels. But, look, and it depends on the dance style. Like if you're doing like a contemporary dance, wearing heels is also quite awkward, it can look not right.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it definitely has a character. Like it makes the movement and the feel of the movement a certain way. And it doesn't really lend itself to, contemporary lyrical, like any of that.
No,
I didn't say
exactly.
urban, but I was thinking.
You were thinking urban in your head, weren't you?
No.
Oh God, this urban dance. I think that you maybe have created a new dance. Maybe urban.
I'm gonna look up urban dance, man. I'm sure it's a thing.
Yeah.
Can't be
Well,
anything.
all right. But look, I love both. I don't think I could wear heels all the time. I think that they hurt after a while. Whereas barefoot, that's your feet, so more
Yeah,
comfortable.
I've done loads of teaching in heels. I think now it's kind of just second nature. Like it doesn't really affect me. But then I don't even when I'm teaching a heels class, unless it's a flow class, I don't wear them the entire class, I
Yeah.
don't. So I think
Could you wear them for 3 classes straight, like 3 hours?
I used to wear them for 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, right.
Nuts.
Do they hurt?
No, not really. I don't think so. Not they're definitely designed for spending longer. I mean, because they're originally designed for like working in clubs and stuff, so they have to be sort of comfortable for walking around in.
Yeah, depends which ones you wear though. I think like the boots are much better, like
Mm.
for comfort. But I think now that the strappy ones, a lot of them are quite tight on your foot. So
Mm.
then and the plastic does not feel as soft as what it used to be. So it's actually quite hard. So I
Like
think
it
after a
cuts in,
while, hey,
like it cuts into you a little bit.
yeah, it cuts into your foot. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're great anymore, the newer ones, or the newer ones that I've got. And I think actually a lot of people have been complaining about the newer ones. They're not lasting as long and they're not as comfortable. I think the boots are still probably okay, but the newer ones are.
Oh, look, I've said for a really long time that I just don't think, especially, I don't know if I should say this, but I just don't think that pleasers are very well made. Like they're not made to last a long time. They fall apart very quickly. That like sometimes even when you get them out of the box, the rubber off the bottom of the shoe is already peeling. You know that they're not. I guess they're not designed as like endurance shoes. They're more to just look at, which is another reason why I think like learning how to be your own little bootsmith is like a good idea because I don't,
Yeah,
I don't think, yeah, I mean, they're just bits of plastic at the end of the day.
yeah, true, exactly. So to wear heels or to not wear heels, both are great. Choose whichever one you like.
I'm going to choose wearing heels, thanks.
Okay, I'll wear barefoot.
Yeah. It's a happy medium, you know, we can have the best of all worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit of barefoot for you and a little bit of heels for me.
exactly. Find what the moderation that works for you.
Yes, exactly. All right,
All
that's a
right.
great one.
Great. Thanks so much for listening to us babble on about shoes. We hope you join us for the next one.